So in Halo 3, there's a hidden area on the final mission of the game, and I've always wondered, is it actually possible to get here? Well, let's give it a shot! So this room is located next to the famous Bungie developer Easter egg, where you can see a 2D PNG of one of the Bungie developers with his shirt off down the hallway. Opposite of this hallway is another room with a terminal. And in this room, there is a blue beam, which I call the blue beam room. But if you go in this room, you can look through glass and see an area that you can't actually access. But with a new technique of tricking called the Momentum Storage Launch, or MSL, I figured it would be very easy and quite possible to get in this room with little effort. But first, I needed to see if there was a place that I could pull off this glitch. Okay, first things first, gentlemen. I need to figure out if this room has a surface that I can momentum storage launch. And in case you don't know what that is, I've explained it a lot over the last month. It is also known as MSL. It was discovered by Hamby or Hambone, and also Sadak. I've linked their tutorial. Well, it's not even it's a tutorial and an explanation, but I've linked it in the description, as I do anytime I try this MSL. It's basically right now I need to find a surface kind of like this that you can walk up. See that? See how I'm slightly going up and it's like clicking? Well, eventually you'll stop at a higher position like this, and then you'll be able to see your feet kind of floating. And this means you're in a floaty state. So if I just crouch a bunch of times, every single time that I crouch, it builds a little bit more momentum. I think I figured it to like 5 or 6 crouches equals 1 on the XYZ in the game. And in order to get to a really acceptable speed to break through a wall, which is what we're going to try to do, you have to build an XYZ of, I would say, 200 plus, 200 to 300. So basically that means you need to crouch like 1,000 to 2,000 times in a row to build that momentum. But right now I'm just going to show you a quick example, because I feel like every time I explain this, I'm explaining it without the actual visual. This is not where I'm trying to set this up. I just want to show this as an example. So right now there is no mods. I'm playing the normal game. Gonna crouch a bunch of times, and then bam, I went so fast that I died. So that's how you know you've set it up successfully. My idea for this trick is to try to find a spot in this light beam room to get behind the glass that you normally can't get behind. So everyone knows about that Easter egg of the Bungie developer. If you go down the hallway and he's sitting there in a 2D image PNG, floating up and down, he's got his shirt off. Well, the room attached to that has a terminal, but also an area that you can't access. See, they have this area blocked off right here and here. This gap is like almost close enough. And then this, you can't quite get through it. And it's the same way on the other side here. See what I'm talking about? There's no way through. So I want to get to that area. I've always wanted to try to get to that area. So I'm going to have to try to find somewhere in here that I can like actually do an MSL against. I mean, maybe this. No. Because you need to be going up. So you need to be meeting a surface that meets a wall that goes up a little bit. If I go up here. Oh, I think I already got it set up. Yeah, my foot is floating. If I turn around, I'm floating. So basically you just tap against the wall until you go slightly higher up and stop, and then you can just start crouching over and over again and building momentum. 5 to 6 crouches is 1 on the XYZ, and you need to get either from like 150 to like 300. Let's do the math on that. 900 to 1800 crouches. We'll see if this wall actually works. But basically I'm just testing this right now. That's why I don't have headphones on. I wanted to see if I can actually get an MSL set up somewhere here before I actually take it into live. I don't want to waste a bunch of hours. And then I'm just gonna tap. Okay. does look like I can get through the wall. I'm gonna pause this and then test it out tomorrow. See how it goes. So I wanted to try to pull this off solo, and I had the perfect plan in place. Now, right at the beginning of the encounters with your flood, there's going to be one that drops a gravity hammer. We're going to need this for later. And if you boost up to the top with a series of grenade and hammer launches, you can get the invincibility at the top of the structure. Now, if you get the hammer and invincibility quickly enough, you can then jet back to the room. Okay, I'm trying to see if I can get into this famous Easter egg room. There's glass behind it. And I've set up an MSL, momentum storage launch. Excuse me. Now, doing this solo might seem like a challenge because of checkpoints, but because Sergeant Johnson and the Arbiter just go and kill enemies, you can get multiple checkpoints without actually being present for the action that's happening in the mission. Now, the reason I needed the hammer is because I needed an activation device that could also somewhat control the direction that I was launching. Doing MSL builds up a lot of downward momentum, which I thought was perfect because I was standing on a ledge where all I have to do is go through the wall. About 15 feet below me would be the floor of the room I was trying to get in. Now, you don't specifically need a hammer to activate MSL. You can basically just tap any direction. You don't even have to shoot or interact. But it can also be activated with grenades and explosions. First time that I tried to do this, the MSL setup was successful, but wants to send me through the wall, but it just won't. I was not punching through the wall, so that meant that I didn't crouch enough times, i.e. I didn't have enough momentum stored up to launch through this wall. So every time I fail this, I have to go and get this set up again so that I can get a checkpoint. A checkpoint with the appropriate amount of momentum stored up. Okay, well, I'm going through the wall. It just seems like I'm not going through the right wall. Let's see if I can make an adjustment here or something. Okay, so I need to find somewhere in this room that I can actually get through this wall. I mean, that was somewhat successful, but I think I was just too close, and these walls seem to be pretty thick, so I need to get somewhere like up here. So the double walls were just too thick for me to penetrate, so I picked a spot that was like 4 feet away from where I originally tried it. Where I was standing this time, there was a glass panel immediately to my right. Well, that was cool, but not what I was trying to do. I figured if I could momentum storage launch to the right in that direction, I could probably just go right through the glass and get in there. Let me in, bruh. That looked promising. Come on. Flexing on him. Flexing on him. Lol. Now, I tried this in variations of different momentum for an hour and a half and was not successful. Well, on to plan B. But I had exactly one plan left. I was going to try clipping through the glass. Now, if you boot up the game on Legendary, there will be 4 ghosts hidden under a staircase outside of the main structure. And luckily for me, there's 4 of them. Okay, now I gotta go get some ghosts. In order to clip in Halo, you need a decent amount of items. You need enough items to cover enough space around you so that the closest space to you is actually the empty space on the other side of the wall. Are there no ghosts on solo? Okay, well. Oh, that's really annoying. I am playing Legendary, yes. Now there better be ghosts this time or I'm gonna be pissed. I found out that if you do this on solo, the ghosts actually don't spawn in at all. So I'd have to replay this mission again, but with a second computer controlling a second player that allowed me to do this in co-op. At this point, I had already been doing this for 2 hours, but now I needed to transport 4 separate ghosts to this hallway. It's real dark. Well, what if I just
See that doorway further on? Get to it.
Something like that. Wait a minute. Wall. We'll worry about that later. What the? Where should I set this up at? This might be my best bet. The window is slanted, which may be a problem, but we'll see. Might just be easier to do this. Yeah. No question. That was kind of stupid. The ghost just moved for no reason. The other ghost did. Well, it took me about 25 minutes from the time that I started this mission again to the time that I had all these ghosts set up in here ready to clip through the wall. But now that I had a nice traffic jam on my ghost on the bottom, all I needed to do was drive this ghost and then get out. And hopefully I'd be in that room. I learned something in trying to do this. If you try to stack a bunch of ghosts, you're only going to see the prompt to flip the ghost. I don't know why, but the ghost is a super prominent vehicle, and even with different vehicle clips, like say if you use a warthog, a chopper, a ghost, and a tank, for example, even if the ghost isn't that close to you, it still wants to bring up the prompt to flip it. So when you get 4 of these in the mix and 3 of them able to be flipped, well, you just physically cannot get in the ghost at the bottom no matter what. And then if you flip one of these ghosts to try to adjust the pile, you basically have to start from the beginning. It's like someone knocking over your Jenga pile after 20 turns. So look at what's happening. Now I got a lot of crouches in. But I'm just flying through the bottom of the map. I decided to give MSL one more shot after the massive failure that was my attempt to ghost clip, and I found out there was a spot where you could set up right on top of the glass, which was my best chance yet. Just in the ether. I've tried throwing different types of grenades, but it doesn't seem to work. Unfortunately, this last-ditch effort didn't work. I just kept going through the bottom of the map. Okay, this is not working out. I can't. This is like the most impenetrable glass in Halo history, dude. I wonder if you could squeeze a ghost sideways through this. Like, if I could just get a ghost through this, I could get to the other side. I just got a checkpoint randomly. There's a top as well. Wait a minute. There's a top here. I wonder if I could squeeze through that. That looks even bigger. Don't tell me I just... Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? I just wasted hours. There's a load zone here and a random checkpoint. Oh my gosh, bro, I never knew that. That is crazy. Like, you literally can't get through these walls or this glass, and they left a little gap that you could just jump into. And I never knew it. It's really freaking dark back here. Wow. I cannot believe that. Oh my gosh. Dude, I've been filming for almost 3 hours. That is crazy. Well, let's take a look around. All this time, I thought this was completely inaccessible, and I was beginning to think that that exactly was the case. Like, this almost looks like you can jump right on the ledge, but you can't get through. I can't believe I didn't notice that gap, but how cool. I wonder, I bet you could... I bet it's the same on the end of the mission, too. If it's designed like this here... Looks cool. I'm gonna have to get back out to see if I can get over there. Okay, made it again. Alright, now let's go check that out. So yeah, if you get in that room...
Welcome to the battle.
Thank you. So if you get in that room, you can't finish the mission. So I can't go see the other room. I'm going to have to do this again. I mean, it's a great skybox of what I can see. Looks pretty sweet. That looks weird. Yeah, end this madness. Okay, I just got one tap with the sword. Restarting the mission. Okay, let's see if we can do the same exact thing with this room up here. There we go. Oh my gosh, I can't believe this. Absolutely insane that I never noticed that there was a gap big enough to get through. For these hidden rooms, they are dark.
See that doorway further on? Get to it.
How? I'm stuck, man. What a hilarious, hilarious discovery. But, well, that means that each and every one of you can easily explore this room as well. You just don't have to waste all of your time. The duality of Halo tricking endlessly, thinking that there is no hope. But wait, there's a crack. And to think I was about to boot up multiplayer, or 2 players again, co-op, 2 different computers, to try to launch a ghost up there, to then try to get, enter it through the wall. That was my plan before I discovered that. But there's this big fat stain on this one. Sweet. Thanks, guys. Love ya.